All right. So for those who on live joining us, we're gonna go ahead and just get started, and we also gonna post this to YouTube. So make sure that you look out for this video on YouTube. So we got in the topic that it's a different world. We got our cell phones. Make sure we keep up with our
Nice.
notes and what we're trying to talk about. So the first thing we've been just experiencing, everybody has been experiencing a different world. There's been a lot of things that's just been going on. We're going through a pandemic, and it's just a lot different. Like when we were talking today,
Yeah.
and we were talking about how that now that I would even say that nobody says like bless you like when you sneeze
Hmm.
and stuff like that. It's just you sneeze, and then nothing. It's just gonna be, they won't even say anything or anything like that. It's just like they so scared, to even just even say bless you or anything, because it's like the sneeze is all about COVID now and everything. And so it's rough time, they were going through even with the pandemic and stuff like that. We even had like an experience today at Olive Garden, when we
Yes.
were in
Oh God.
Olive Garden. We sat in there and we was like, okay, we finally are starting to get out and eat again and stuff like that. So first thing, before us even just going out or anything, we actually were not going anywhere like a lot, especially in 2020 when the
Yeah.
the it was fresh and everything. We made sure we stayed on the inside and stuff like that, and we wasn't going pretty much anywhere going out to eat. We were
Yeah. Doing a
usually
lot of cooking at home.
and picking up stuff, but
Yeah.
not really going out to eat and stuff like that. So
Oh God,
you
it
know,
was. Oh, lines was long.
yeah.
Do y'all have y'all experienced that? Popeyes, the line is
Oh yeah.
extremely long. It be wrapped around the building, but we're gonna talk about that later.
But it's a yeah, that's a whole nother subject. But anyway, us at Olive Garden, they walk in, at the restaurant, and we were seated. Had to wait about 15 minutes, get to the seat, and then we're sitting down, and we are just talking to each other, waiting to get our food and
With our
our
mask on.
yes, that's the first thing that we we went in. We saw some people across the street. We was like a lot of people just going into the restaurant, unmasked or anything and stuff like that. Now, look, it's these are our opinions. If you agree with them, fine. If you don't, that's
That's
fine
fine
as
too.
well. But these are just our opinions, and we just like to talk about them and let you guys in basically on our conversation and stuff like that. So we see people out there that was just, unmasked and stuff like that. And we were like, we felt like we were the weird ones a little bit because we still had our mask on. Now, mind you, both of us are fully vaccinated.
Right.
So we were not going anywhere until we got uh, fully vaccinated, like going out and sitting in public places and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Because we just wanted to make sure we, stayed safe and did, our part as much as possible. So that's that on that. But now, the reason why we put our mask back on is because they started saying, that even vaccinated people can still spread the virus as well if they get the virus, which is highly unlikely in most cases. I know a lot of people start saying about, well, vaccinated people are still getting COVID. They are, but not as much as unvaccinated people. That's the numbers. It's you can check it out yourself. It's very much true. The hospitalizations, over 90% of people that are hospitalized now are unvaccinated. And so you do have some people that are vaccinated. And the thing about the vaccinations that people sometimes don't understand, because I still hear it a lot, is when people say that because somebody got COVID after they were vaccinated, they like, wow, that wasn't supposed to happen. But it's never been said that because you were vaccinated,
Yeah.
no epidemiologist, no scientist, no doctor has ever said that's not how vaccines work. They never said that when you get the vaccine, you can never get the virus. That's not how vaccines work. Even flu vaccine, vaccines work when they really basically the vaccines show how good they are when a person gets sick, and the vaccine actually helps them fight off of the virus. So that's what vaccines for. So if you hear somebody just saying, well, the vaccinated people still getting the virus, that lets me know that they really don't know about vaccines.
Right.
Vaccines is not 100% of stopping you from getting the virus, but it helps you to fight off of the virus in case you do get it. Now, there is a smaller chance that you will get it, and there's a larger chance that you won't get it. So it does help protect against getting it, but it's not 100% from protecting you from getting it. So if you do get it and you're vaccinated, it's not, the vaccine ain't working. Nah, that's not the case and stuff like that. I hear a lot of people say that and everything. Even in the NBA, they was talking about that. Why people still vaccinated, still getting the virus? And I'm like, that's because that's how vaccines work.
Yeah.
When they help you fight off the virus, not that. So anyway, so that's the reason why we still put on our masks, to make sure we help out with other, watching out for other people as well. Right. So now, caught you back up to why we had our mask on. So we're doing our part. We're being doing our society a favor and stuff like that. So we get out and we see other people unmasked and stuff like that, and we're like, okay, we're gonna go in here and just eat, and sit down, try to social distance and all that stuff. So we get in there and sit down. We're at the table getting ready to order our meal and stuff like that. And it's
hey Jesse,
it's just that. Hey, Jessica. So we're sitting down. We're sitting down at our table, and and we look to our left and right, and we see, people, and then we hear people cough in the distance. Now we got our mask on, and we trying our best to just, we just hear people.
Loud. I'm like, oh my God.
We just hear people everywhere. It's like the pandemic has done that to us, to where like we have a heightened sense of somebody coughing. It's like somebody.
It's like automatically just turn. You like
somebody coughs. It's like, ugh. It's like, wait a minute. That's why I said when people sneeze now, it's like, no, it ain't excuse you. Ain't excuse
not
you.
at all.
No, it ain't bless you anymore. It's not like bless you. Now, I haven't even heard nobody say bless you. They like getting away from me and stuff like that. And we look to the left, and we see in the a little Caucasian boy, and he's over to our left and licking the bar, and he got his lips all over the bar and everything. God. And we like, okay, we just, all of this stuff just happening and everything. We still hearing coughing and off in the distance everywhere. It's like how many, like it was every minute. We were just
every minute. I was like,
it's like, why do we even hear it now?
I'm like, if you sick, if you coughing and you got any type of it doesn't matter what it is. If you coughing more than 3 times consistently. Yes, just I'm like,
you need to be at home then.
Yes, be at home.
Said you need to be at home then.
Do everybody a favor and just be like, you know what? I have a cough right now, or either I'm going to order to go and just be at the house. It's okay.
We were just sitting there and everything. I'm just telling y'all, for real, just sitting out there and this, everybody. Over here to the left, and then to the right, and then it's like, okay, let's order our food. But then had a good waitress though.
Yes, we did.
Had a good waitress, came to the table and everything. They were doing.
She was masked up and
talking,
everything. I can appreciate that.
Got us plastic utensils.
Yes,
and everything. We do plastic utensils now. We're trying our best to do everything. The difference is it's not that we are fearful of, because some people say, where if you vaccinated or you got mask on, you are fearful, you have no faith and all of that stuff. Because we're people of faith, and some people say we are fearful and stuff. It's not like that. The reason why we do the things that we do, because we want to do our part in society as a whole.
Right.
Jesus Christ laid down his life for us. So we're like, okay, if I'm hearing people always talking about my personal me, my choice and stuff like that, when does it become less about you and more about others that are out there?
Right.
And so we follow the example of Christ, that we are not in this pandemic alone. Now, if you could just get sick by yourself, now if you could just get sick and it's just you, and you don't get nobody else sick, fine. I'm like, fine, it's your choice, and stuff like that. But we can't use the your choice. We can't use the your choice in a pandemic that affects everybody.
Exactly.
It's like what I do affects my wife. So if I decide to be careless, I can somehow then affect my wife and stuff like that. So with me doing that, we are careful with it. So it's not that we're fearful of that, but also I have a business. I ain't got time to be in no hospital. I ain't got time.
We got things to do.
I'm trying to do a lot of stuff. I don't have time to be sick, and some people don't care. Some people don't care about it, but I'm like, I don't have the time to be. I don't have time to, some people like, if I get it, I get it. No, I care if I get it. I do. I care. I'm not afraid, and I'm not afraid of dying or anything, but I don't want it. Right. I heard of, people who had it, and you can use wisdom, and you're like, I don't have to go through what you went through to find out that I don't want to go through that.
That's right.
Okay. So I'm just going to use common sense. Like, some people say, well, it's 99% a chance that you will survive it and stuff. I'm like, great. But if I don't have to get it at all and stuff like that, okay, I'm going to do my best to avoid that and stuff like that. So that's our, opinions on. But back to our waitress and everything. She's doing a great job and everything. Another thing happened that was funny, though, is the waitress that took our order wasn't the one that delivered our food. So Shir and I, once the person that comes out has on like this airplane like a parking vest or something like that. And we're like, where did you come from? And he comes out handing the food to us, no mask or anything. But that's not the problem. The problem is not he doesn't have the mask on. Well, I mean, it could, but that ain't the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that didn't really bother us that he didn't have his mask on. What bothered us is that he just felt like he just had to say something. He felt like he brought the food out in the plate. Oh, you guys, this looks so yummy. And we like, could you just please hand us the food?
Hand me my food.
Just hand us the food.
All the droplets and spit droplets. Come on.
I think he gave you more droplets. So I think he gave Shir more droplets. And I was saying, Lord, please don't let him say anything about my food. He said something about Shirley's food. He said, it looks yummy and good. This looks so great and everything. Oh. It looks delicious. He said, all the syllables that could put, spit on your food and stuff like that. He said it. And so I was like, you know what? When he get to me, don't. You ain't got to say nothing, But he gets to me. He said, this looks so good. You got this right here. And he has the plate in his hand up right here. This looks so, and then gives it to us. I had the spaghetti and meatballs and stuff like that. And as soon as he left, Shir said, let's pray.
Lord, dry up the droplets.
Let's pray.
Now.
Let's pray over.
Sanctify the food.
Sanctify the food, Lord. Every droplet that came out.
Woo, God.
Because this is the important thing that people don't understand, even about the pandemic and stuff like that, is that the virus is spread through droplets coming out of your mouth. A lot of people were focused on like hands touching and all that stuff. And like, ooh, wash your hands and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's fine. Yeah, because the reason why you end up touching your face and doing all that stuff and everything.
Hey, William.
Hey. And you end up touching your face and everything and stuff like that. I understand that, but I really wasn't focused on it as much. Even people wore gloves and stuff like that. But I didn't focus on that as much and stuff like that. It was the fact is because when I would shake hands with a person, even at the beginning of the pandemic or during the pandemic, I would shake hands. It didn't matter to me about that because I don't really touch my face and stuff like that. I wash my hands a lot. You know, I use a lot of paper towels. And so I didn't worry about that. Didn't worry about the part as far as that because I knew that it mostly comes from if somebody's just talking to you or laughing and all that stuff and everything. So he was just had the food and everything and stuff like that, and we said a prayer over it and everything, and I actually had the lady to take my food back, not because of that. It's because I didn't enjoy what I had, but Shirlene had something really good.
I had the chicken and shrimp,
Cabanero, whatever however you pronounce it.
But it was delicious.
Yeah, that's good. Woo. We got some in the fridge right now, so it's really that was real good. And so I asked her. I said, "Look, just take this back." I ate a little piece. See, I'm not one of them people, man. I'm not one of them people that eat the whole plate and say, "I don't like this. Take it back." You know. So I told her I ate a little piece, and I said the meatball was good, but it was dry. So the spaghetti and the sauce was dry. Yeah. So I said, just give me what she got. And so I traded plates, got that, and she brought mine back out. Thank you, Jesus. So Shir had all the germs on hers.
But it was sanctified. We didn't pray.
Shir had all the germs on hers. So anyway, and so we had hey, Miss Shakita, how you doing, Sister Shakita? Yeah, we on here. We just talking. Y'all comment too. Let us thank y'all for y'all comments and everything. We just shared the video as well. We just talking. Shir has vowed not to go back to Popeyes.
Yes. Can you tell me why? I am not going back to Popeyes. For one, I am tired. Now,
I don't know if I agree with that right
well,
there.
I am saying that for one, the line is super long. Every time, it doesn't matter what time you go. It could be around lunchtime, in the afternoon, around 3, 4, 5. That line is forever wrapped around the building. I simply asked for a 3-piece leg spicy. They're going to throw me 4 or 3 thighs.
We got the younger people working.
Two thighs and a big old breast.
We got the younger people working.
And then it might be even mild, or you know what I'm saying. Have y'all ever experienced that? Have y'all experienced that lately?
And I'm like, people.
Oh my God, don't care.
I'm telling you, it's the younger people working. It's the younger people.
I don't understand it.
You get to that window.
Oh.
And I try to articulate my meal, what I want, because I'm paying for it. Shirlene tried to, I'm like, no, I'm paying for this. If I'm paying, I want my meal right. So I'm like, I say it like this. I want a 3-piece, dark, 2 legs, 1 thigh, mashed potatoes, okay, sweet tea.
And then the sweet tea, oh my God,
sweet tea.
Not sweet. It's like they dump the whole sugar bag in there, and then they dilute it down with all this water. Horrible. What in the
world? Was like on Men in Black. Water. With the sugar and water. She kept pouring that sugar more. So he that tea was terrible. It's been terrible. It's just I used to love Popeye sweet tea. That was my
staple.
Yes, that was my go-to. But now I don't know. It's because I guess a lot of the older seasoned people.
Yes, they at the house.
The older seasoned people in the Lord that was there. They at the house now, I guess. With the
we're just enjoying life,
And we got the younger people. Hello, what you want? I just want a 3-piece dark.
What you say?
3-piece dark, and what size you want? Nah, they do this to me all the time. This is what they do to me all the time. I say I want a 3-piece, and then I try to go into my specifications. I'm trying to let me specify. Let me break how I want the meal down. What type of drink you want? I say, well, before I get there, what type of drink you want? They do that to me all the time.
All the time.
They do it to me all the time, and I'm like, let me specify my meal so you can get it right. Mm-hmm. And when we pull up to that window, give them folks our money. You know what they give us back?
Thighs.
One leg and one thigh, or maybe one leg and the breast.
Oh my God, it's horrible. I mean, horrible.
Yeah, with
oh God,
with barbecue sauce. He's saying with
Jesus.
Barbecue sauce. They came and gave us one. We asked for a 3-piece. 3-piece.
Just 3-piece.
3-piece, and they gave us both 2 pieces. And then one girl came out there looked like she had an attitude because we asked for a 3-piece. You know, and we are respectful when we do it. Yes, I don't be yelling or anything. And even though in my mind I want to, and I want to yell and throw some pieces of chicken and stuff like that. But you know, I do respect. I don't. Now, one thing I don't do is like when I'm at restaurants and stuff like that, or when we're at restaurants, make sure we respect people. You know. Even though we may disagree with some of the things that they do and stuff like that, right. But we still respect them and stuff like that. So we're not like that and stuff like that, but we like to talk about it after we done because it's sometimes the going out experience during this pandemic has been it's been different.
It's different,
and especially with the places that we like to go. You know, I got a couple pounds on me now, so I like to go and get me something to eat and everything. But you know, with going out now, it's like been just terrible. Yeah. You know.
And I understand. I mean, and I completely understand. People are restaurants everywhere. It's short staff, and you just got to get what you can get as for, I guess, employees.
Yeah.
I don't know if any training going on, or I don't know. But and I know that everybody is trying to do the best that they can.
Another thing that happened, y'all, while we was at Olive Garden too, Shirlene noticed something. She gonna tell you what it is. She noticed something that when we were seated before, and everybody had left. You know, we had the one little boy that was licking the little thing over there. You know, beside us, they had left. And then, no. Well, actually,
because we was in the middle by us. You know, we was like in that middle section. Yeah. It was by ourselves. You know, it was like, okay, you know. And then, and everybody else was of the other persuasion on the outside. And then I was like, whatever. Okay, yes, okay.
So it was two little boys that was beside us.
Yeah.
Well, the first one, he wasn't the one that licked the bar. It was right. He just looked over there at us and like.
Yeah.
Hey, black people. He stuck his head through the whole bar and was just staring at us. And we're trying to keep our cool and calm. We just looking, got our mask on, just talking to each other, looking at our phones and everything. Yeah. And he just all in our space, right there. He said, I'm just gonna stick my head through the bar and just stare at these nice melanated people. Okay.
But anyway, and then, so, people, of course, they're coming in and, and we see, them, they being seated. Okay. And then I notice, okay, people of my color, they coming in and, okay, well, you come over here. Boop. I'm like, okay, yeah. Okay. I give you that. Okay. Then another one came in, on the other side. I was like, okay, another color of my color, straight middle. I said, wait a minute, Sam, is this the middle section for us?
I guess I'm not her color. She said my color.
I was like, or either, I guess I don't know if they feel like, we feel comfortable sitting together.
Sure brought it to my attention. She said, do you notice how we are getting more, black people in our area? And
it's like in that middle section. It's like that. Okay, well, you this right there, and I was like, well,
yeah, you notice we getting all these, people around us, I don't know. Maybe that was
like in our little area, but everybody else was on the outskirts. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, I just noticed that.
She noticed it. She said, "I got to keep my antennas up and everything." Maybe it came from high. Maybe it came from high up, and they were saying,
Maybe they feel like sometimes we feel better sitting, but I feel I'm all right sitting with anybody. Yeah, but I'm all right. We all right with sitting with anybody. It don't even matter. But I just noticed that.
Yeah, it was no problem. As far as that and stuff like that. We just like to laugh at situation, but
it's also kind of
weird. Also kind of weird as well. Like sit all the black people together. What's going on? Okay. But anyway, just like to laugh at stuff like that and everything. That was funny. Had just a experience today with that, and that was. We looking at our phone because we got our, notes and stuff and stuff like that. So you see us look down, we just looking at our notes and stuff. Another thing, we noticed that even about the pandemic too, because like we said, it's a different world that we're living in. So we have to act different and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening that's different. It said, on the news, we watch the news a lot. That's us. We wake up in the morning, 6, Shirley.
Yes, you gotta know what's going on before you gotta know.
Up before me.
You gotta know what's going on in the world.
Up before me, watching the news, and so the news is on, and they're talking about everything, and they talk about how the nurses are just burnt out. Doctors are burnt out and stuff like that because of the fourth wave of the pandemic and COVID-19. They're saying they are seeing a bunch of and this is like no shame to unvaccinated people, but the numbers are the numbers. I think Jay-Z said when men and women lie, numbers don't. Yeah. The numbers are saying it, that the it's more people that are unvaccinated that are in there that they have to take in and they have to take care of, and then also that are saying that they want the vaccine or they either died or it's too late, or they say that if they get out, they're getting the vaccine and stuff like that. And what the nurses are saying is that they just, the fourth wave that they had with this Delta variant was basically preventable, and really it was unnecessary. We didn't have to go through this wave if we have, more people vaccinated and stuff. Now, remember, vaccination is your choice, but remember, I'm going to say your choice it does affect other people. So to say it's just my choice, my body, my choice, and ain't nothing going to happen to nobody else. Well, in a pandemic like this, I can't say that. I can't go out and here's the thing. You can be asymptomatic, which means you don't show any symptoms at all.
Right.
And you think you're fine. And so I'm not even wearing a mask either. I'm not going to mask. I'm just going to go out, and I'm still going to go out to public.
Right.
It's not you saying that I'm going to stay in. I even seen a guy on YouTube. He was playing jokes on folks. So he was just playing jokes on folks. He had his mask on, and he would say stuff under his breath, and people would hear him say the right stuff, but then he would pull his mask down and say something different to make them think he was saying something different. He actually came up on this guy, and he asked him, did he have COVID? And the guy said, yeah, I did. And he didn't even have no mask on.
Yeah.
He was shocked because the guy said, I got COVID, but I'm out here in the store, no mask on, no anything and stuff like that. And he's running around here positive. So yes, there are folks that are out there that don't care. They like, I'm out here. I don't care about wearing no mask. I don't care about being vaccinated or anything. I'm just going to just go out here and do whatever I want to do. Well, you can infect somebody else that way. So how can it be your personal choice if you can go out and your personal choice, when your personal choice affects me, how can that be personal?
Right.
It's not like I like chicken and you like fish.
Right.
That's a personal choice. Me liking chicken doesn't affect your eating fish or anything.
Right.
That's a personal choice.
Right. And also too, it's affected. I mean, it affects everything. I mean, even lately, have y'all ever been to the grocery store? The lines are extremely long. I mean, the food shortages. It's just it affects everything. Exactly. It really does. And to piggyback on what you were saying about the nurses being burnt out. Yeah. I feel sad because it's already they work those long hours. Yeah. 7 to 11, 11 to 7, so forth. And it's just sad that and the beds are being so filled up, and I think my mind goes back to what about those people that have like cancer, yeah. Or there's no beds for them, because every other bed is taken up by other people that are not vaccinated, or the ones that have gotten vaccinated or sick. But cancer patients, and then they're not able to put their all to the ones that are really sick, like really sick and on really just death door, and it's really sad.
And nurses are quitting, are leaving their jobs as well. Not just the ones that have because of the vaccine mandate, not just because of that. It's some that are overworked. They like, yeah, I'm done, and they are leaving. And we as people, and as people of God, we as people, we can't be like we don't care. Yeah, our healthcare system is important, because if we don't care about the doctors and stuff, or the nurses and stuff, because it seems like we just kind of shunned them and said, we can do this on our own. We don't need doctors. We don't need scientists or anything. We can do this on our own. To differ. And so when you say that, then think about when you really need to go to the doctor. Yes. And you something is wrong with you and you have to go to the doctor. They are important. They are important people. And even I'm hearing it even in the body of Christ, which shouldn't be said about not trusting, doctors and stuff like that. I understand that there are some people out there that are evil. There are some people that are wicked. Yes. There are some people that are devising schemes. Yes. But we can't say every doctor is doing that. Right. We can't say every scientist is doing that. Right. If we do that, it's just like saying every pastor is wrong. I can speak for myself that the pastor that I have that's over us, I believe God is really using him, and he's not out there doing crazy stuff, or anything, that, I know of or anything. And so what he shows us is a good character. So I can say for our pastor, he's not taking advantage of us or anything like that. He's actually looking out for our souls and stuff like that. And I know plenty more pastors that are out there. So I cannot categorize by seeing one pastor that's like, oh, he money hungry and stuff like that. So I'm going to categorize all the pastors, say, all y'all money hungry and stuff. We can't say that.
Or
so
either the doctors or the nurses. Yeah,
so we can't say about the doctors or the scientists and say, oh, they got a big scheme going on and stuff like that.
And what about even, our children, when they grow up, what I'm saying? We tell them, they can be doctors, they can be nurses. And then we tell them, in the faith now, huh? And so, when they're in that field, they're, okay, you don't matter.
You don't matter no more. You don't matter.
No. Let me tell you something. If my, our daughter and our children, our nieces and nephews, they grow up and all of that good stuff, and they're nurses or whatever. Yes. You know what? Because guess what? God is going to use you mightily through medicine. You know what I'm saying? That is a part of.
We here. Yeah. We here. So we're gonna stay here real quick. Stay here. So in that lane, because we care, and so. If we're telling our youth and telling our children to be nurses, doctors, go into that field, scientists, and you can be anything that you want to be, and then think about the scientists and the doctors and the nurses that are in the field right now. They are daughters. They are sons. They are somebody's grandson. They are somebody's sister, somebody's brother, and stuff like that. And so us telling them that you don't matter now, we can do this on our own. We don't need the healthcare system now. We can just do this on our own. It burns them out. And we don't have to say it with our mouth. We say it with our actions. When we go into those hospitals and stuff, and they are like seeing, 90% of most like hospital staffs are vaccinated. 90%. or more, a little bit more maybe. Yeah. But majority of them are already vaccinated anyway. So when we see nurses that are just protesting and stuff like that, against it and stuff like that, that's a very small few. So to say, oh, that's the majority of them, all of them doing that. Now, if all of them not doing that, and the reason why is because here's how I feel as a patient. As a patient going into the doctor's office, I want my doctor to be at the best condition as they can be. And I don't
mentally,
physically. So I don't want to go if I'm feeling sick and I go to the doctor and he's hacking and coughing and all that stuff everywhere and he's sick and got the flu. No, you need to go see a doctor. Right. You need to go get help.
I don't want you. I don't want you burnt out where you can't. Okay, well, is this you misreading a dosage or you know what I'm saying, or you not writing the right prescription and all of that. We don't need our help. Our nurses and our doctors, everybody. Not only them, but
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but just in Pacific.
I'm just saying they. I'm saying
you
they
don't
trying
need them
to
burnt out.
Burnt out. But I'm saying them being sick.
Yeah.
And then trying to help me. How can you help me when you're sick?
You can't.
You could possibly get whatever you is on you can get
make
to me.
Make your condition worse.
It can make me worse. So why would I want to be under a nurse's care or a doctor's care? This is me personally now. If you want to go to, if you as a person want to go to a sick doctor and allow them to give you whatever they got, possibly. I'm not saying they will, but I'm just saying if you want to allow them to do that to you, that's fine. That's your choice. It is. But me, no, I need you well, doctor.
Yes.
So you can help me.
At your best.
I need you, yes, at your best and stuff like that. So when you have nurses that are like saying, you know what, I ain't got to be vaccinated or and stuff like that, you're basically saying that I'd rather be an agent or possibly an agent or a carrier of this while I'm administering you help or while I'm trying to help you.
Right.
And for me, now, whatever y'all say for you, that's fine. Look, it's you. Okay, that's fine. You're look, that's you. But me, no, ma'am, no, sir. No, I need you well.
We need
I prefer you to be vaccinated.
Yes.
And here's the thing about with vaccinated people, and people are saying vaccinated people are still getting virus. I know we did this before. People saying vaccinated people are getting the virus. Here's the thing. Let's think about this, because I like to think things through. Because some people just like to talk. They hear stuff, hearsay. Charlene saying, you like to talk. Well, this is our channel. And I can talk. So anyway, what was I saying?
Point. Prove it.
Oh! But anyway, some people like to just hear themselves talk and not really get the facts and stuff right. They like to stick with the conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But I'm like, let's work this out real quick. Let's walk this out. Walk it all the way out.
Come on,
okay. So if if a person like me, I get vaccinated, my chances of getting the virus goes down. Okay. Charlene gets vaccinated, her chances of getting the virus goes down. It's not 100%.
Right.
It's never 100%. So we can never say that we will never get the virus.
Right.
That's not what vaccines do. Remember what I say. Vaccines don't do that. They don't protect you 100% from getting the virus. They help you fight the virus if you get the virus. So Here we go. So if I am less likely to get the virus from the vaccine, and Charlene is less likely to get it from, we can't pass it to each other. A vaccinated person can't pass it to a vaccinated person easily. I never said they couldn't, but it's not going to be as easy for me as a vaccinated person to pass it to my wife or she to pass it to me. So it leaves the question that where are the vaccinated getting the virus mostly. I didn't say all the time, but I just said mostly. It's gonna be from a person that hasn't been unvaccinated, because the virus is like the devil, seeking whom it may devour. Amen.
Amen.
So that's what it's doing. It's trying to find host.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't had it already, if you haven't had the virus already, and some people don't even know if they had the virus because you can be asymptomatic and not even. And some people may have already had it before. Don't even know that they had it and done with it. You know, if a person did have COVID-19, yes, they do have immunity from it. Yes. Let me tell you that as well. So a person that has COVID-19 before, they have immunity. Not saying that they can't get it again, because some people have gotten it again. Some people got it twice, you know, as far as getting it again. But a person that's already had COVID before, most likely their chances are lower of getting it. So where would someone mostly get the virus from? Probably from a person that never had COVID-19 and also that is unvaccinated. Yeah. Because the COVID virus finds a host that it can feed off of. Right. Now, if it goes back to a person that had COVID before, it can't easily penetrate their immunity. Same thing for a vaccinated person. It can't penetrate that immunity as easily. Notice I said as easily. It could, but it's not as easy. But with a person that has not ever had it before and a person that's they got to be both. Never had it before and unvaccinated. It can easily get to them because you don't have any immunity at all. And so if you ain't had it, or if you don't got the vaccine, and some people, it baffles me that some people are like opting, like, you know what, I'd rather have the virus, you know. As long as I ain't got that vaccine, you know, I'll get that virus, that COVID-19 right there. Let me get the COVID-19 for $200, Alex. You know, it baffles me.
I wouldn't want to risk it because we've been taking, but I'm just saying, but we've been taking vaccines forever and a day, and I will say it ever since I came in the world, you know what I'm saying, and went to the doctors, and you know they gave you got to have all those shots for school and all of that. We've been taking vaccines forever and a day, and I understand they was like, well, some people like, oh, well, it's just been too, you know, it's just too short. Or it just was quick how they made it up. But you know, like I said, you know, this was actually this is 2, you know, because you know
SARS-CoV-2.
Yeah, this is 2, not 1.
Clearing that up though.
Yeah, clear it up.
Let's clear that up, because most people go off of conspiracy theories, Facebook and all that stuff and everything. So all this stuff that we saying, you can check yourself and everything, stuff like that. It's on the CDC website, stuff like that. So when people say that they just made this up, that lets me know that they really don't understand. Right. Let me put it like that. They really don't understand. It's just like when people say, well, why vaccinated people why vaccinated people still getting the virus? I say, well, you really don't know what vaccines do. So we might as well stop the conversation because you don't know what vaccines do. If you say that, you don't know what vaccines do. All right. The same thing about the time period. Under President Obama's administration, they had a team of epidemiologists, scientists overseas to make sure they check on, you know, and keep an eye so pandemics won't get out of control. Remember, back in Bush's term, they had 2002. We had COVID here. It wasn't called COVID. It was called SARS. Okay, and they got that under control because they had the stuff under control. Same thing with Ebola, right? Zika virus, right? All these other things. The reason why you don't hear about them as much because they had a plan in place. They had a plan in place. President Donald Trump pulled those people from over there. Said it was a waste of money. Okay. And so we were not prepared as a country.
But see, Obama had a plan, but he threw it out.
It was in the beginning, you know, in 2014, at the end of 2014, beginning 2015, when Obama said, we're going to be, and it's not because he's no big prophet. It wasn't because of, it was like, we're going to see another virus. And guess what? After this, we're going to see another virus. It's not that I'm a prophet or anything. It's just, it's been happening for years. The reason why we haven't had a pandemic is because we've kept it at least under control.
Right.
But this time, we were not prepared. It got out of control. And that's why we need to pray for our leaders to make sure they're making the right decisions.
Right.
And stuff like that. So it got out of control. So here's the thing, though. But even before that, 17 years ago, they were working on the mRNA vaccines. So 17 years they've been working on the vaccine that we have now.
Right.
So when people say, "Oh, they ain't got no," let me fix my face because we like, when we start talking about people, we gotta make faces. Oh man, so I'm gonna fix my face with it. It's like, oh, they just came up with. I can't help it, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't speak in my own voice when I'm saying it. Oh man, see, okay, they came up. Now I can't say it like that. I gotta say it like they were saying, "Oh man, they done came up with this thing, and it's just too new. It's just too new. This vaccine too new, and they ain't even had this thing out for a long." All right, so obviously you have not been keeping up. That's all I gotta say. If you say the vaccine is very new, you haven't been keeping up. Now, as far as with the human trials, yes. And with the human trials, they had to speed that process up.
Right, because people was leaving here.
People, yes. The reason why they needed to do that listen, y'all. By now, as a country, we should be better at technology. Why not? Why are we expecting the country to operate at the same speed it was 100 years ago when we had the last pandemic?
Right.
Why do we got more technology right now? We shouldn't be that slow. Yeah. We shouldn't be that slow on stuff as far as trying to imagine if we had to wait 10 years through this virus.
Oh no. Do you know
just so the science community can get their stuff together.
People would be gone.
Just so they can get their stuff together. Y'all, we sorry. We just need 10 years of research right now. And guess what? If you die, you just die. And hey, whatever. Come on, y'all. No, science community, y'all should have been working on this. And they were. 17 years ago, back in I think the late 70s, 80s, and they were working on the mRNA vaccine, which is called a messenger vaccine, messenger RNA. And all they needed at the time, they already had the vaccine ready at the very beginning of the pandemic. Thank God they did. They had it ready at the beginning of the pandemic. All they needed was I think it was the DNA of the virus. They needed the DNA of the virus so they could have the vaccine ready to go out. But the vaccine was already tested and tried before. They just needed to go through human trials as well. So, they put it to about 6 months. Well, 6 months to a year. 6 months to a year. They had people try it out. So that means we already had the vaccine back in March of 2020, I think. If I'm not mistaken. You can check that back and everything. I think we already had the vaccine ready. They went on ahead and they started doing trials. So they started the trials in March 2020. So the reason why we just couldn't get the vaccine, they had to make sure everything was good. So they had a year worth of data, and they like, okay, we did on so many people. We had this. We got if they did not speed this up and have this vaccine ready, a whole lot more, y'all. Without the with the vaccine, listen to me. With the vaccine, we are marching up to we are over 500,000 people gone with the vaccine. With the vaccine, we are up to over 500,000 people gone. Now, I think it was like 300,000 something before the vaccine, maybe somewhere around in there.
Give or take.
But still, now even with the vaccine, we are over 600,000. Matter of fact, they said we have passed the first pandemic. Remember what I said? We should have been better. We should have been better. We have more technology. We should be better off than this.
Come on.
Now, back in the 1900s, we're talking about 1918. They ain't have nowhere near the technology that we have right now. Why are we worse off than them? We have lost more lives than they lost back in that time, in 1918.
We got a long way to get there.
But we got better technology. But we got, that's just the way. It's a different world that we live in. That's the reason why we say we titled it a different world. It's a different world that we live in, you guys. It's a different world.
And it's gonna be like that until we get on one accord across the board. It cannot be just okay. Well, some doing no. Everybody got a part to play. Exactly. Everybody got a part to play, and we gotta. I mean,
whether it's the vaccine or even wearing your mask,
and not if you know what, even if you just only if it's not even for you, think about your children, your grandchildren, and the people that is close to you that you don't. You know what I'm saying? If you care, do your part. Just do it. Just do your part.
Because the funny thing is, I heard people at the beginning of the pandemic. This is before the vaccine, before the pandemic. Yeah. I mean, during the pandemic. At the early stages and stuff, they like, I ain't wearing no mask. I ain't doing this. And I said, I thought about it because I like to think. I really like to think. Like, I said, okay, if I decide not to wear a mask, okay, and if I get the virus, who will I most likely affect besides myself? Because I can't be just thinking about me, okay? Because this virus don't just say, I'm just going to attack one person and that's it. I'm just going to attack you. And that's it. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna attack you, and I'm gonna leave everybody else alone. It doesn't do that. It wants to grow. It wants to jump from host to host, person to person. So let's think about this. If I'm a person that says I'm not at the beginning of the pandemic, this is before the vaccine. If I'm saying I'm not gonna wear a mask, who am I mostly around? My wife, my parents, my sisters, my brothers, my church family, people that I love. We don't hang around folks that. We don't hang around folks that we don't hang around. We don't just hang around just people that we don't know. We may meet new people, but we don't just decide this random person that I don't know. We just hanging together. The people that we hang with are our loved ones. So if you are going to infect anybody, you are going to affect those that you love, the ones that you are around. I'm like, are we thinking about this? Right. Like, we're not really thinking about this. Right. So I'm like, if I decide not to mask, I'm like, oh, I ain't finna mask. Forget what they saying. I ain't finna mask. Well, that's fine. But the people that you hang around is the ones that you love. Right.
And now, is really doing a work on our children now. And that was one of the main reasons why, I went ahead and got vaccinated. Because when you're working with children, I mean, yep. I look at it like if we had children, I would want whoever's around my children to, do all they can, So my child, as they coming into the school or wherever, or however, wherever they're at, that, they'll be in a safe environment, So because they got to learn, you know what I'm saying? And so you just have to do.
That means we're
everybody has a part to play.
If you're thinking of yourself, it makes sense.
Yeah.
My body, my choice. If I'm thinking of myself, yes, that makes sense.
Me and my four and no more.
Me, my four and no more.
Or 6 or 8.
Or me, my 6 and that's it. Or whatever. Whatever it is. If you're thinking of yourself, and this is in no way to tell people what to do with we are not telling people what to do. We're just saying think. Make a decision based off of facts and not conspiracy theories, because we heard of, they're talking about vaccine mark of the beast and the end of the world and stuff like that. Yeah. People saying, look at all these storms and stuff that's happening around the world, all these earthquakes, storms hitting like never before and stuff like that. And I'm like, y'all never heard of global warming? They're like, no, it's the end of the world. Global warming, y'all.
Global warming. That's why it's important.
Our polar caps are melting.
Yes, that's why it's important for our scientists.
Our ozone layer is being depleted, So if we don't get to clean energy soon, if we don't get to some type of, it's going to get worse. That's not prophecy. That's not prophecy from the Lord or anything like that. We're not even saying anything like just so spiritual or anything like that. We're people of faith. We love God and everything. But at the same time, I'm not looking around the world and saying all these earthquakes and stuff going on. The Lord is sure to return. Yes, he is. But I'm not saying anything against that. I'm talking about the Lord. Yes, he's soon to return. Yes, he is. But not just because I see earthquakes and storms happening in other places. Global warming. Yes. Ozone layer is depleting. It's going to cause the temperature to raise, which means it's going to start messing with the atmosphere and with meteorologists and all that meteorology and all that stuff. It's going to start messing with that stuff. And what's going to happen is we're going to start seeing worse storms and seeing stuff happen in other places that it normally don't happen.
Fires, earthquakes.
You know, like it flooded in New York.
Yes.
And flooding in New York.
In New York.
It's not because God is trying to send a signal to people and stuff like that. God don't have to Oh, I know, getting a little bit spiritual. God don't have to use storms to do that, y'all. He don't have to use elements of the earth to do that. He can. I'm not saying he won't. I'm not saying he can. I'm not saying he will not. But I'm saying he don't have to. If he wants your attention, he can get your attention. Without he don't remember. It was saying it was not in the storm. It wasn't in the smoke. It wasn't in the wind. It wasn't in the fire and all that stuff. It's just a small, still voice. God wants to get your attention. He will get your attention. He doesn't have to do all this collateral damage just to get to your attention. And if you don't know what collateral damage is, it just means that I'm going to destroy everything around you so I can get your attention. So I may destroy people around you or destroy, innocent people's lives and stuff that has nothing to do with you.
Right.
Now, God doesn't do collateral damage like that and stuff like that. I don't believe that's his character, okay? Right. I can say that I don't believe. I'm trying to get away from trying to make it seem like I know what God, would do in every situation and stuff like that. I'm careful in saying that because some people, very loose with God said, and we can't be loose with that because remember, our ways are not his ways. Our thoughts are not his thoughts.
Right.
And so we got to be very careful when we start talking like that and stuff like that. So I'm very careful.
Right.
I'll say I believe in a moment because I believe, so I believe basically, all things are just said about that we, God doesn't have to do all of that just to get your attention, because here's the thing. If we blame the pandemic on just people just doing wrong and people sinning and everything and stuff like that, then we would say that people just gonna stop sinning and stuff like that. Come on now, that ain't the case. That is not the case. People sinned before the pandemic. They did wrong before the pandemic. They murdered before the pandemic. During the pandemic, people murdered. During
not as much.
Oh yeah, it did drop.
It did drop.
God, we was in the house, y'all. We was in the house. Okay, but it did drop.
But it's on the rise.
But it still happened.
Yeah.
But then here we go. Headed towards the possible.
Here you go.
Turn down of the pandemic. Turning the corner. As they used to say. We're heading towards that now. With that being said, on that we're turning down with it is we gotta understand that you made me lose my train of thought. I'm sorry. I gotta point out. She was pointing at me about something. What was I saying?
I'm sorry. You was talking about you was turning the corner about not murdering so much.
Yes. Yes. So people gonna continue to do that no matter what. So if we looking for people to stop doing wrong so God can just save us out of this pandemic, hold your breath. People gonna continue to do wrong. So it doesn't matter. I think we got one more thing that we was covering.
No, I think we covered all subject area because I know we have been officially
it's 9 o'clock. It's 1 hour. Yeah. Well, I want to say this one more thing. This is our channel. And we're going to say one more thing. Now, this is a little lighter note and a little bit more funnier, on it. We said the nurses were burnt out, in the pandemic and stuff like that. And they didn't need no more added stress to them. But people, in their mind, they decided to do the crate challenge during this pandemic, you guys. Now, I know people have stopped it, and, we're talking about this a little bit later.
Yeah, it's old.
But it's old and gone. But just imagine how many people went to the hospital after the crate challenge. And they like, y'all, we got COVID patients in here. I'm just thinking, if I was a doctor or a nurse, I'm sitting in there.
Ooh.
and you like this. I broke my arm. Like, okay, we were gonna help you.
How did you break your arm?
How did you break your arm? What happened? What happened?
I was doing a crate challenge.
That crate. The crate challenge.
Imagine.
Landed you in the hospital. Now somebody with COVID can't get a bed. Now somebody having a heart attack get a bed because you done tried the crate challenge.
People.
I looked at it, y'all. I did.
Don't.
I looked at it.
Please don't.
And in your mind, you would think, you know what? Hey, I can do that. You know, I can do that. Now me, I said it in my mind, but that's all. That's how far it went. That was it. Especially after you start seeing people fall down, breaking their arms. Like really, people broke their arms.
For real.
You know, so if you broke your arm, you got to go to the hospital to get that seen about and everything. So it's like, that didn't make any sense, y'all, in that and stuff like that. So make sure we being careful during this pandemic, not doing crazy stuff, because TikTok will have us doing some. Well, not me. Not me. Not no crate challenge or nothing. TikTok, we have people. TikTok had the kids, have all the other folk doing some crazy stuff, y'all. Landing these folks in the hospital where all these burnt out nurses and doctors at. Y'all, we gotta do better. Yes. So as we close with this it's a different world, y'all, that we live in. And as we know, there's some things that we talked about were very serious. And, you know, basically the whole thing we talked about, you know, was serious, you know, but some things were funny inside of it. And but at the end of the day, we are still in a pandemic. We do pray for the families that have lost people to COVID-19 or anything. Yeah. You know, our thoughts and our prayers go out to those people. We don't want to see anybody hurt or dying from anything and stuff like that. It hurts to lose people, you know, even from vaccinations and stuff like that. As the vaccines roll out, we still pray. Yeah. So even when we got the vaccines, we did not just say, just the hero and stuff like that. No, God is the hero, and we're thankful that he can use people and use science to also help heal. Yes. So we need to make sure that we're also praying for the science community to come up with cures for diseases. Yes. And pour into those communities, pour into those those studies to be able to help cure all types of cancers.
And if you see a nurse or a doctor, and if you have nurses and doctors in your family or people on frontline nursing home, you know, whenever you get a chance, you know, just tell them thank you, tell how much they care, you know, give them a care package, whatever you can do. Send them a cash app. Let me buy your lunch today. Send them encouraging words, whatever you can do. I mean, there's everybody that's on frontline that's dealing with.
And they see what we don't see.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have to sometimes take it home with them because it's there. It's mental. So we just going to pray all around.
So we're going to keep them in our prayers and everything. We hope you guys enjoyed our first, I guess, podcast where we talked about, you know, some things, talked about what we experienced and stuff like that. Hey, look, make sure you're on to YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and also subscribe, you know, to our channel. We're going to be putting out more videos and stuff like that. I want you guys to stay tuned, okay? Make sure you comment and all that stuff. Let us know what you think as well. Love to hear your comments. Yeah. But also keep them, you know, positive. Keep the comments positive. We are open, listen, for any, you know, if you want to challenge our thoughts, that's fine. Yeah. But coming at us will not be tolerated. I'm gonna tell you that. Wow. Like just coming at us or any type of way or trying to come at, you know, that will not. we will not tolerate that. We're open for discussion. Yes. Your comments are welcome, open for discussion and everything. But as far as if we feel like you coming at us, nah, blocked. So make sure that you can give us thought-provoking or comments or positive comments, and, you know, engage with the videos and stuff as well. That's fine and everything, and welcome. So this is John and Shir, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see you guys in our next video. Okay.
See you later.